This program is brought to you by generous donations from the community and sponsored by Stifel Financial.
Good evening, Nevada County. I'm Keith Overby, your host for tonight's edition of Nevada County Now. NID has reported that we've had an average season in regards to water supply, but we should be prepared for drier weather impacts. In other words, we still need to conserve per the emergency declaration made last summer. The mandate will continue into 2025 or until PG&E completes repairs to its damaged infrastructure at Lake Spalding. It's being asked that all customers reduce their water usage by at least 20% until water is again flowing reliably from Lake Spalding through NID canals to Rollins and Scotts Flats lakes. And you can find water saving tips here at www.nid.water.com/winter-water-conservation-let-s. That's a mouthful, isn't it? Now, NID reservoir levels are slightly above average for the water year. The participation at Bowman Lake is 94% of average as of January 22nd. And based on an 11-year average, NID's total reservoir storage is 108%. The snowpack, however, is suffering with the dry start to the year, around 74% of average. Now, Scotts Flat Reservoir is still a bit behind average for this time of year, but through natural precipitation and NID's water management practices, it's slowly filling up. The reservoir is at 81% capacity compared to 92% last year at the same time. Now, it's anticipated that during the summer and fall, Scotts Flat will be in better condition than last year. And while Rollins Lake is likely to fall again to depleted levels as of last year. Now, don't go away. We'll take a short sponsor break and we'll be right back.
Thank you to Stifel Financial, proudly helping individuals pursue financial goals, businesses and organizations raise and protect capital, and communities offer higher quality of life. To learn more, visit www.stifel.com.
The city of Grass Valley is updating its tobacco retailer ordinance to address emergency public health concerns and changes in the tobacco industry since the original ordinance was adopted in 2009. The proposed amendments aim to regulate modern products like e-cigarettes and flavored tobacco, nitrous oxide, and manage the increase in businesses primarily selling tobacco products. Now, this ordinance differentiates between businesses that sell tobacco as a supplemental product and those primarily selling tobacco products labeled as tobacco retailers. Now, the new ordinance covers that tobacco retailers must not be located near youth-oriented facilities such as schools, playgrounds, and youth centers. And also, the number of tobacco retailers will be capped. This ordinance also prohibits retailers from selling nitrous oxide canisters, although this does not affect the major grocery stores or non-tobacco retailers selling small canisters that are used for food propellant purposes. These updates aim to modernize Grass Valley's municipal code, close existing loopholes, and promote a healthier environment for residents. And the second reading of this updated ordinance will be at the upcoming Grass Valley City Council meeting. To watch this City Council discussion topic, please visit the Nevada County Media YouTube channel. A link is provided in the description. And on February 11th, the Nevada County Board of Supervisors convened to discuss the final round of the Last Mile Broadband Grant Program. This initiative, established in 2019, aims to enhance broadband connectivity in underserved rural areas by providing resources to internet service providers, known as ISPs, for infrastructure development. Now, prior to the meeting, the board approved grant agreements totaling over $1 million with two ISPs, X-Wire Incorporated, operating as Oasis Broadband, and AT&T. These funds are designated for projects targeting areas that have historically faced challenges in obtaining reliable, high-speed internet. Specifically, Oasis Broadband will focus on regions around Nevada City, Donner Summit, King Vale, Norden, and Soda Springs. And meanwhile, AT&T will concentrate on portions of the greater McCourtney Road area region, extending down to Higgins Corner. The approval process was not without reservations. Some supervisors expressed concern regarding the grant awarded to AT&T, particularly questioning the company's commitment to serving the county's rural communities. These apprehensions led to a more cautious approach in the decision-making process. The Last Mile Broadband Grant Program has been instrumental in promoting economic development, public safety, remote education, telehealth services, and overall community well-being. The board's recent discussion underscores Nevada County's ongoing commitment to bridging the digital divide and ensuring that even its most remote residents have access to reliable, high-speed internet services. Now, to watch this item's discussion, please check out the Board of Supervisors, the video of their meeting, on the Nevada County Media YouTube channel. The link will be provided in the description. Now, don't go away. We're going to take a short sponsor break, and we'll be right back.
One of our goals as an agency is to bring that awareness that in our community there's still needs out there for firewood, especially in the senior population, and that as together as a community, we can meet that need.
Each year gets a little harder and a little harder, but just seeing this, I feel like one of the lucky ones.
All right, welcome back, everybody. And in an age of increasing digital threats and deceptive tactics, consumers must remain vigilant against an evolving landscape of scams. Law enforcement agencies and consumer protection organizations are warning the public about new fraudulent schemes designed to steal personal information, financial data, and even identities. One practice consumers can do is to never click on a link provided in an email, text, or even a social media post. Instead, open up your browser on your computer or phone and go directly to the agency's website. Fraudsters pose as legitimate organizations, such as banks or government agencies, sending emails or text messages that appear authentic. These messages often contain links directing recipients to fake websites and designed to capture login credentials and personal information. And phone scams are nothing new to everybody. Scammers impersonate everyone from law enforcement to the IRS. They claim urgent matters, such as unpaid taxes or suspicious bank transactions. They pressure victims into providing sensitive details or making immediate payments. They can even pretend to be grandchildren to get them to send money. Now, with the rise of e-commerce, fraudulent sellers and buyers exploit platforms like Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. Scammers often post fake listings for high-demand products and request upfront payments. They then disappear without delivering the goods. Romance scams build trust with victims through online dating programs, and then fabricate emergencies that require some financial assistance. And once the victim sends the money, the scammer often disappears. Now, the tech support scams are where fraudsters impersonate tech support representatives from reputable companies claiming a virus or security breach has been detected on the victim's device. They then trick users into granting remote access, leading to data theft or financial loss. Now don't go away, we'll be right back in just a bit.
Hi, I'm Erin Tarr, Executive Director of the Bear Yuba Land Trust. We're a local nonprofit that's been around for 33 years. We've protected over 25,000 acres of land, built over 50 miles of trail, and are always looking for new ways to connect the community with nature.
I'm Sean Clark, and I work on our lands and trails at Bear Yuba Land Trust. We'd love to have you become part of the Land Trust family. You can head on over to bylt.org to become a member, make a donation, or sign up for a volunteer work party, and come help us steward the land.
Welcome back, everybody. The yes scam is a particularly hard one to figure out. In a say yes scam, a caller poses a simple question in hopes of prompting you to respond with the word yes. The scam may start a call by asking, "Can you hear me?" or "Are you the homeowner?" Scammers then use the recorded yes to confirm authorization of a major purchase on your credit or debit card. So how can we protect ourselves? Well, the best practice is simply not to answer calls from numbers if you don't know who it is. If important, the caller is going to leave you a message. And if you do happen to answer, choose other ways of saying yes, such as "I can hear you" or "this is she." And remember, never provide personal or financial information to someone you don't know. Pay attention to red flags, and remember these scammers are good at what they do. And if a caller is posing as a representative of a business, government agency, or another organization, simply say, "Let me get your number and I'll call you right back." And if they hesitate or refuse, that's a red flag. And always confirm the legitimacy of emails, texts, or calls by contacting the company or organization directly through official channels. Never click on links or download attachments from unexpected or unverified sources. Protect accounts with unique, complex passwords and enable two-factor authentication when possible. And be skeptical of urgent requests. Also, regularly review your bank and credit card statements for unauthorized transactions. And if you encounter a scam, report it to the Federal Trade Commission, known as the FTC, your bank, or local law enforcement to prevent others from falling victim. As scammers continue to adapt and develop new tactics, staying informed is key to protecting yourself and your finances. Caution and remaining alert, consumers can reduce their risk of falling prey to fraudsters and ensure their personal information remains secure. Now we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back with a special guest.
From the foothills of the Sierra Nevada, a new hero will emerge. One who is ready. One who makes sure their friends and family are set. And has the power to go at a moment's notice. This fire season, you're the hero. We are Ready Nevada County.
All right, welcome back. Now, tonight's guest, you could say, has a pretty crappy job. I'm sure that's not the first time he's heard that joke, but we're throwing it out there anyway. Being the operations manager of the Nevada County wastewater facility can have its challenges. Without getting too much into the technical aspects, Brad Torres and his team have researched and modified their cleaning procedures, which not only reduces expenses, but also improves efficiency and sustainability. Since implementing the changes, the Nevada County Wastewater Department has reported savings in excess of tens of thousands of dollars annually. These savings have freed up budget resources for other critical infrastructure projects and improvements within the county. The success of Nevada County's wastewater team serves as a model for other municipalities looking to cut costs without sacrificing quality or efficiency. Their initiative showcases how innovative thinking and teamwork can lead to a substantial financial and environmental benefits. And now to tell us all about this project is Brad Torres. So Brad, welcome. Glad to have you here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Glad that you can be here. I'm sorry about the bad joke at the very beginning. How many times have you said that? You'd be a rich man if you had a nickel for every time you heard it.
Be a rich man.
I bet. Anyway, first of all, tell me exactly what does the wastewater department do? Just a brief summary, if you could.
So for Nevada County, the sanitation team, they manage 10 collection and treatment zones for Nevada County. So most of them are small jurisdictions. We don't do any management of that infrastructure inside of the cities of Grass Valley or Nevada City, or even the Tahoe Truckee area. They all have their own municipalities. But essentially, we receive the wastewater from all the homes. We take it to the treatment facilities, get it to a point where we can reintroduce it into the waterways.
Okay. And you said you have about 10 of them. Where are some of these located at, if you can, generally for me?
So in Lake Wildwood, Lake of the Pines, Cascade Shores, North San Juan, we have a couple of small treatment systems. One's in Alta Sierra. We have one out near Eden Ranch, which is off Highway 49, headed out towards North San Juan. And a couple other real small community-type treatment systems.
Okay. Now, they said that you developed a new process for treating the water. First of all, the water goes through your plant and is put back into the natural stream.
Yes.
Or into streams, creeks, canal ditches, something to carry it throughout the county.
Yeah, depending on the treatment system. Some of them are full tertiary systems, which tertiary means there's 3 treatment processes. There's a primary one that removes most of your solids, the secondary one which removes the organics waste that are still left in there, and then a chlorine or a disinfection type. It basically takes the pathogens out of the water, which allows it to be reintroduced into the waterways. Depending on this treatment system, some of them are land application, some of them go back directly into a stream or a creek or river.
Okay. Now, just out of curiosity, what exactly have you guys come up with? What is the difference between what you were doing then and what you're doing now with your new improved project that you developed?
So this project was done at the Lake of the Pines wastewater treatment facility. Down there, one of the portions of the treatment process, it's called an MBR, or a membrane bioreactor. And to kind of just simplify it, I mean, you think of like a filter in your home for an air filter, essentially removes impurities. This does the same thing for water as that filter does for your air. Eventually that filter blinds off or becomes fouled. It doesn't effectively move water across that membrane, and it has to be cleaned or replaced. The process,
much like your furnace filter at your house
just like
does.
Your furnace filter at your house. Yeah, exactly. So staff, previously this job was daunting. It was a 7-week downtime process, required 425 man hours to complete. The units themselves have to continuously remain wet. They can't dry out because they get brittle and break. And they represent about $1 million worth of infrastructure there at the Lake of the Pines facility. So all of the work that's being done has to be taken place under sprinklers, essentially. So staff is wet for 7 weeks while they're performing the duties.
I get this vision of guys out there in raincoats or something.
That's a very accurate vision. Yeah? They are suited up and having to work in that environment as they're removing all of these plates from the units, excuse me. So staff, obviously this is following the manufacturer's recommendations, which generally you have to do. The staff figured that there had to be a better way to tackle the problem. So they actually got together at a staff level, came up with a new plan, presented it to management and myself. And essentially the new process allows them to do most of the cleaning process inside of the basins that they're in, as opposed to pulling them out and having to saturate them like we were talking about in the rain gear type scenario. It's cut our process down from 425 man hours to about 15.
Oh my gosh.
Previously,
it's 90% or better.
Yeah, from being down 7 weeks, we're now down 3 days. Our water usage during the previous process, like you said, we had to run it essentially for that entire time, was about 700,000 gallons. Each time we had to take one of these basins offline. Now we utilize about 55,000 gallons. So even our water usage has been dramatically improved, using less water, which, as you mentioned earlier in the show, water usage and conservation of water is a big deal.
Hopefully that makes NID happy, So.
Yeah, it's definitely helpful. And then it also frees up staff to not only participate in other projects that they'd have to put off by being a kind of an all hands on deck scenario with the membranes. They're able to free up, focus on other maintenance and operational activities, and come up with other great ideas.
So you're shut down like a week in comparison to months.
Yeah, 3 days.
3 days now.
Yeah, we're able to shut down, which, considering this process is a very critical portion of the treatment process for us. If we're losing 25, because there's 4 basins, so if we have a basin down, it's 25% of our plant's capacity.
Okay.
So if we get a rain event or something like that that taxes the system, it turns into a very stressful operation.
Because the other 3 are overflowing or close to it.
Or reaching that capacity level, exactly. So if we're able to cut that window down to 3 days, we can plan it inside of good fair weather conditions. Avoid wet weather events, which allows us to A, reduce all of that stress, and B, make sure that our plant's running the way that it should.
Okay. Well, besides saving a whole bunch of money, man hours is money. Mm-hmm. Are you able? I don't know. I just popped in my head. Can you get a patent for this procedure, or are you guys able to patent it and then provide it to other counties and bring in even more money for Nevada County?
So the patent probably is not likely, because it's the way the equipment is set up. We still have to run everything through the manufacturer. But what we were able to do is, prior to going through with the procedure, and even during the first time that we performed this new cleaning activity, we had the manufacturer out. They essentially got their blessing on it, so we weren't affecting any warranties or anything that's in place with the equipment itself. And they're actually doing studies on it now so that they can take and suggest it for other municipalities. So while it's not going to be a financial advantage for the county, it's given us great traction as far as our trust and relationship with the manufacturer, and then B, it should be able to help other municipalities to be able to increase their operations as well.
Other municipalities or counties that are running wastewater treatment, I guess maybe in the state, is there anybody in the state that, other than Nevada County, that's using this process?
Oh, most definitely. It's a common one, common
the new
treatment process. Well, not the process. Actually, I don't know that.
The new one that you just described, is there anyone that has taken that up? I mean, you said the process is something that everybody, of course, goes through.
Yeah. So currently, everyone else is using the old process.
So you guys are like first in the state.
We are the front runners
first in the country.
This particular time. I couldn't say country, but I do know in our region for sure. But
okay. And what area does the region cover?
I haven't heard anybody inside the state of California that's done this process. But Kubota is the manufacturer of these membranes. They're a worldwide manufacturer. We're not aware of anyone else using the process either. So, like I said, I can't definitively say we're the only ones, but I do know that as far as the feedback we received from the manufacturer, this was a new process, because they had to basically approve it, and they hadn't heard of it before. So we were happy about that.
Now, the estimate I had in my little introduction was tens of thousands annually. Do you have a closer figure?
I do.
About how much money you're saving per year?
So between the water savings and the manpower savings, and even the power, because we're having to run and pump water and relocate water out of the basins, it's about $23,000 a basin, $23,250 a basin each time, and we have to do 4 basins a year. So we're saving around $93,000 annually with this new process versus the old.
Okay. Now, has Nevada City has its own waste treatment plant? Nevada City has their own also?
City of Grass Valley and Nevada City, they do have their.
They share one.
They both
or
have
they
their
each
own.
have their own individual. Have either of them started using this procedure? That they?
So I don't believe they use the Kubota membranes.
Or do they know you're doing it? Oh, they don't use the. This is particular to the ones made by Kubota.
To those Kubota membranes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, I don't believe so.
As someone who lives in Grass Valley, I hope they're trying to figure out how to do it, you know?
Yeah, we're working, actively working on reaching out to neighboring jurisdictions. We just entered into a mutual agreement with Nevada City to kind of share resources and ideas so that we're able to help each other be kind of at the top of our game.
How long have you been using this new system?
It has been in place for about a year and a half.
So roughly, I mean, you're talking saving $150,000, $140,000.
So far, yeah.
And then the money is put back into the general fund, do you know, or?
So the sanitation district is unique, where it's called the special dependent district.
Oh, okay.
So we're strictly rate funded, and all funds generated from those rates have to go back into the zone and the infrastructure that they're deemed for. So it's not a general fund pool, but what it does, it allows us to take that and reinvest it into our aging infrastructure.
All right, good enough. Anything else you want to add in closing to this?
No, just kind of the general process. The county as a whole has really been looking at a high performance organization like HPO philosophy. That's kind of what spurred a lot of the ideas that came and led to this particular one with the membranes. Pushing ideas and pushing decisions down the chain so that it's not just essentially me sitting in a box somewhere at the root making the decisions for everyone. It's where the action is actually happening. Allow those folks to have a larger say in what is making their jobs easier, what's making them more efficient, and it's really catching on. It's allowing us to kind of advance as a department much faster than any one person would be able to take.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you. I noticed that at the end of the year they always have Employee of the Year, Group of the Year, whatever. Did you guys get an award from the county for this yet?
So this will be in next year's pool.
All right.
But we will be looking for a Team of the Year because it is pretty innovative ideas. Yeah.
County CEO, officer, all of you, Board of Supervisors, these are your winners right here. So anything else that you want to add?
I don't believe so. I really appreciate you having us on. Anytime we're able to talk good things about wastewater, we appreciate it.
And have somebody make bad jokes right off the bat for you, right? I know. That's part of, I guess, television. Yeah. Okay, everybody. Well, thank you for watching this edition of Nevada County Now. Oh, I should say, write a letter to your county supervisor or somebody. Give them a call. Let them know what a great job these guys did. Let's pump them up for that award, huh? All right. Thank you, everybody, for this edition of Nevada County Now. If you'd like to help contribute or write stories, appear on a show, or even become a host, and if I can do it, anyone can, please check out the details on our website at nevadacountymedia.org/NCN. And this program is local news and information brought to you by local residents. Okay, now remember to stay safe, take care of each other, and get out there and explore all this community has to offer. Thank you and good night now.